I'm just cackling because I've been spilling the family tea and DMs to you, and poor Angela wasn't ready.
I
Are you
the
okay?
tea, oh my God. I'm still okay, so Melanie was over here spilling tea casually. Like she spilled like the hottest, spiciest chai freaking tea, and then she moved on so quickly that I was like, I had
In
it
my
still makes
defense, Your Honor, I thought I'd told you this shit before, but yeah. And I think I'm desensitized to it after decades, you know?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's amazing what time can do to the heart, to the
Mm.
soul, blessed time. But yeah, she hit me with some whammies today, and I did. Yeah, I was not ready. I was not ready because it was just so freaking hot,
Yeah, my
spicy.
family is wild. Family history is
Yeah.
wild. Even like
Yeah.
reaching as far back as like thinking about like when I hear the story about like how my grandma got married. She was like 14 or something. And my
Oh
grandpa
God,
was a lot older and he just like saw her across the way and fell madly in love with her and like she had her first baby at 16, I want to say. Something
man.
young, something young. But I mean those were it was different times. But sometimes you hear the old tea and you're like, "Wow. Wow, like that is different times, you know?"
Very, very different times. I think about that. I think about it a lot, actually. Like,
Same.
I talk about this with Armando a lot because obviously we have Alicia who's now 18, but even at 18, I'm like, you're too young to even think about
Right?
marriage or a relationship. Like, go to college, girl, get your job, get your things, girl. But but I was thinking like for him and I think I had Alicia when I was like 23.
Yeah, it's still too
So
young.
yeah, so young, but now being reversed, I'm like, I cannot, like, my niece is 20, and I cannot imagine her having kids.
Mm.
But her cousin, who's the same age, just had a child, and they're so different, like mentally, if that makes sense. Like her cousin is
Absolutely.
naturally, she's always been very like nurturing and just always leaned towards
Mm.
like that's she loves babies, and so it just like happened, and it kind of made sense. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But for my niece who's not like that, I just can't imagine. And I just think of like how back in the day. Oh, I think because I've been reading some Regency
Oh
romances,
yeah.
and in one of them, the girl, the main character at first was like 15, and I was just
Yeah.
thinking like it might have been, it just feels so weird, but it was
It
so
does feel
normal,
weird to
and
reflect because yeah,
yeah,
nowadays I'm like that's babies having babies like but yeah, I do
yeah,
agree with you like there's definitely people with a different disposition and like for some people I mean, look at the amazing kids you've raised and you had them young. Oh, and that would be back in the Regency times, you would have been considered a spinster by then.
yeah,
Over 20? My God, is your womb even okay? I shouldn't say that, but like they were very
yeah.
critical of those things then. They'd be like, no, I can't remember what the age was, but I thought it was like quite young. It was surprisingly young when I heard. I was like, wow, we would consider that young now to have kids, but
Yeah. Ah. Maybe it's a well, there's a lot of factors, but I'm also thinking like economically, like it's so hard. Kids are so expensive.
Okay, I think about this all the time. I don't know how the people with the kids are doing it with the kids on top of all the fucking monetary pressures. Like,
Oh,
it'd be wild. But I guess again, back in the day, you weren't just having a baby, you were having another pair of hands for the farm, you know? So you'd have as many as
yes.
possible.
It was an investment
It was
into
an
your future.
investment into your future. Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah, that we went on a tailspin there.
I'm
But
sorry for opening Pandora's box on you.
oh, no, thank you. I I thank you for spilling your family tea. I wish everybody could hear this.
Girl, like
But you
sometimes I
can't.
joke that like I could have my own season of The Bold and the Beautiful.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Like, yeah, like this is straight up like telenovela. Like
It really,
yeah,
yeah,
you have some goods, some
some good
goodies.
tea.
Yeah. But my favorite thing is that you shared it so nonchalantly.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you're like, blah, 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 this happened. And then, and top it off. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, we have to go back to the first thing, girl. We can't just skip over this.
I think
I
the thing
love
is,
that.
I had to learn to become non-phased in a way because one nervous breakdown was enough for me, you know? Like I used to take all the emotions of the whole fucking world and try to carry it, I'm not gonna lie. And it almost killed me, like it realistically. So for me, it
Yeah.
was kind of like I've had to learn to just kind of like laugh at stuff and not channel the pain of the world and turn it into a hard ball and put it in my chest. You know, because I think that's what I was
Yes.
doing as a
Yeah.
visual
Well, especially,
representation.
especially like I think about even when we first met,
Mm,
how much like you were such a people pleaser
I
back
was.
then, and like just watching your journey from then to now has been really really cool. So I can only imagine like back in the day when you were still like in this world, where people were leaning on you and you were like feeling this pressure to be that like gentle,
Yeah.
kind, you know, therapist for many people.
That was my
It,
whole identity, and I think a lot of people pleasers can resonate with that. And I think when you're like that, you might not even realize it's a bad thing because you actually feel very fulfilled doing that for people, being a helper. And it can actually be one of the most beautiful human things in moderation. But what tends to happen is naturally giving people attract naturally taking people, and it creates such an imbalance and one person is trying to like find their identity in helping and the other's just like more, more, more. And you're like, no, but I'm gonna help you get through this. But some people will just like suck everything you throw at them. And yeah, if you're a sensitive person and you don't know how to have a boundary and you think that that's what's going to give you purpose and meaning, it can be so damaging. And you don't realize until you like abuse your body to the point of nervous breakdown, which is where I wound up. So for me, it was like, my body wouldn't let me keep living like that, you know? And I had to kind of like, honestly, when you met me, I already thought I was a badass with boundaries then just to
and
give you an idea
you
of
were,
how
yeah,
no, but I mean like the progression was
the
before that I was
progression,
even
yeah,
more I would just like just do stupid things for people thinking that like I should be doing that and helping them through their journey but like meanwhile it punishes you if you're not careful. So
yes,
anyway, thank you for coming to
yeah,
my TED Talk. Please, and I think that's it's funny. Like weirdly in my smut piece for Jingle These Bells, I wound up paraphrasing a version of that quote that she's like learned to lose herself in service of others. And I definitely like grew up hearing that a lot and hearing that that's like where you should find your meaning. And I really challenge people to pick apart how problematic that is because if anything requests you to lose yourself, I think that that's
yeah,
a red flag immediately. And yeah,
mm-hmm,
if
yeah,
you grow up ultra religious like I did, it's just like your whole identity to do that. If you take it seriously, you're like, my God, like I'll just do it. I'll lose myself trying to help everyone else. And you really do lose yourself, you know? So anyway.
yeah. Well, and that's honestly, that's one of the things that for me, when I did leave the church as well,
Mm,
was so empowering because you are taught that like basically everything about you is wrong, especially being a woman. Everything
mm,
about your body is sinful and wrong, and because of you and your kind, like the whole world basically was ruined. And so I think like I came out of that experience thinking there was so much wrong with me and
mm,
thinking like, you know, because you're taught like we're none of us are perfect, and you know we have to basically like strip down every single thing about you,
mm.
to become, I guess, holy or whatever. And to me, like as I came out of it and I was like trying to explore like, well, okay, then who am I? And it
Mm.
was like all the things that found myself stripping down were the things that I really love about myself now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's
I
like
do.
I feel like finally getting to piece back together the things that were torn away from us in a that we let be taken away because we were trying to listen to what our
Yeah.
leadership or our elders were telling us to do. It really like it takes you back so many steps on like this journey of becoming this badass woman. And so it's like it's again, I always like talk about Alicia because my daughter, because I not that I see so much of myself in her, but
Mm.
I want so much more for her than I ever had.
Mm.
And obviously my son Adrian, he's great too, but like he's great too, but he's a boy and he doesn't have like like when you're in the church and you're a woman, you're automatically separate because of your body. You know
Absolutely.
what I
It's
mean?
so funny chatting, like we were just chatting about this, and like it's so interesting. Even though my husband grew up a pastor's kid, his experience growing up male in the church is so different to like the crushing pressure that I as a woman felt
Mm,
growing up in that system. And it's very interesting men who will talk openly about it, um, and who can see that. It's so interesting seeing like how they didn't feel the things that we felt. And like it's also explains why a certain person can gravitate towards that because it really can give you purpose and meaning and like, you know, and in some cases it can encourage you to just like not do critical thinking, you know? And this is all like nuanced, but I feel like the other side gets discussed all the time without nuance, and we're allowed to have our nuanced discussion of how we experienced it, you know? Because I never want to
yeah.
shit on all of it, but I also think it's important to express this stuff and like I think we could be doing better in those spaces, and I think people need to be held accountable when damage is occurring, you know. And I would say that that's damaging. Being imagine like as you reflect on it, that you feel like is stripped away, like the most beautiful parts of yourself. And I can definitely relate to feeling like I found the best parts of myself outside of that because I stopped feeling like I was inherently wrong and problematic just by
Yes.
existing, you know.
Oh my God, yes. Yes. And a lot of like why I wrote Sinner's Isle too, I think was I was really trying to explore that feeling of just like
Mm.
we as women are inherently evil and like the power that is just inside of us is something dangerous, you know? And so it's like we're just these vixens just
Right.
walking around trying to seduce men into doing bad things. It's like it really like just irritates the shit out of me. And you think
Same.
about even like I watched this I don't remember, it was like a little documentary, a little
Mm.
clip about how like dress codes at school. So for the girls, they're a lot stricter, obviously, just naturally. Like your shorts can't be this long, you can't wear tank tops, blah blah blah. Um, and and I believe it was at like a religious school, but they were saying like that's so you girls do not tempt the boys, so you're not distracting to the boys.
Mm.
And then it kind of led into this discussion of like sexual assault and and it was talking about like showing the outfits or the clothing that women were wearing when these things happened, and it was never, I mean sometimes sure, but for the most part it was just like your regular day-to-day outfit, fully clothed, wearing our pajamas. It's like it's not about
Mm.
the clothing, it's not about the woman, it's about the aggressor.
The
And
aggressor and
so
the
it's
intent. Yeah.
yeah. And so it's like I just think about all these things of just like what it is to be a woman, what it is to have this body that for some reason just automatically makes you a target. And again, I think a lot of times like when it comes to religion and like the patriarchy, it's all just used truly for control.
That's
And
it.
because you think about like when you look at these places where women are liberated and able to do all these amazing things, like it's so beautiful to see them like just be, to see us just be and exist in a world where we are equal. Um
Mm.
fuck, it's just like really inspiring. I just kind of I just really hate the patriarchy is what I'm saying.
Yeah. But you know what? Like, good guys hate it too. That's what I'm
Yeah.
realizing. And like, we need them on our side as well, is something I'm realizing majorly. But like, you're so right. Like, it's, I didn't have words for why I hated being a woman growing up. I didn't have the right words for it, but I hated it because I felt trapped. I felt like I wasn't free to live like the boys were living. And I would just feel I mean, I'm so lucky I had amazing teachers and stuff. Sorry, Goose is crying in the corner. I had amazing teachers who
Goose
like
feels
really
it.
challenged the religious side of things and they encouraged us to be like badass women and never to like feed into that. So in that sense, I was able to be like, no, I can be a powerful woman. I don't have to just be this version that I was told. That femininity is many things. It doesn't have to just be this one version that was shoved down our throats, you know? And I found
Mm.
my power in that. But yeah, it's my question sometimes is, and now that we've gone down this rabbit hole, I'm like, how many sex scandals do they need before they question is something wrong with what's being taught? You know what I mean? Like that's what gets me because I do watch a lot of these cult docos and the wild part is churches are often allowed to deal with it internally. So if there's been these cases of fucking child molestation, they can just reprimand and often they just send the fucking preacher to another church in the town over where they don't know that this has happened. A lot of documentaries I've watched have like touched on that and I'm just like at what point do you like question if something needs to change in the teachings? But anyway, we could go down
Yeah.
this rabbit hole. We
We
there's
could.
the feminine rage is there for a reason, you know, because
Yeah.
for a long time the patriarchy has been weaponized against women and that's where the anger is coming from. But like ideally ideally we're like a power force together, the masculine and the feminine, and we all like I think that that's what because I yeah, I don't know, sometimes I feel like there's been this like rip and like there's almost like the guys are like oh fucking this and the women are like fucking this, but like what we need is to just be respected as equals and find that common ground and whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes it's like
Yes.
it's hard
Yeah,
to
it's like
hear about
anti-men.
yeah, yeah, and the good ones are so good and they're not
Yeah.
threatened. That's the thing, like good guys. And it's so funny because toxic masculinity calls guys like that betas. But the funny part is those so-called betas are so non-affected by your show pony ways. Like the people who
Hmm.
say that shit are so transparent to the rest of us. It's just like it's laughable how petty and like ridiculous it is, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, like I just I really want to like I don't know. Lately I just feel like it's so important that we're like one united voice against like the fucking bullshit. You know what I mean?
The douchebags of the world.
Yeah.
Fucking douchebags of the world. 'Cause there's so many. And they're the loudest ones. And
They
they're so
are the loudest.
annoying.
That's it, eh? And I think like that's why us poor like sensitive souls, we just like have to like that's why sometimes you just gotta dial it, turn it down, turn off the phone, whatever, because you're right. The biggest douchebags are the loudest of them all. And they rarely have anything to back their findings.
Never. Never. Like every single time I'm like, oh my God, dude, like if you just research a little bit.
Just a
Oh,
little,
just a little.
just a little rice screen of critical thinking could lead you down a different path, you
It
know?
could, but that's too hard for them. That's too much work for alphas. Alphas can't do that, you know?
Nah, alphas don't be doing that heavy lifting of rice grains. Like, what are you talking about? Everything should just happen for them because they got that power energy.
Yeah, yeah, because they've
Ugh.
got muscles and strength. Yes, I freaking love that. Yeah. Well, I the power though, I think for all of us like sensitive souls is in our words and like we get to write these stories. And I think that's where we can finally like express all the things that we have in our hearts and minds.
Do you know
And
where else the power is? Sorry, go.
what? No, what? What were you gonna say? Go ahead, Mel.
Every now and then, the power is knowing we're smarter. You know,
Yeah, well,
you
yes.
know, sometimes
Yes.
you just gotta know that you like did the work and you did your critical thinking And sometimes that's enough to just make me scroll away. And I'm like, just enjoy your miserable life, mate.
My God, it's so true. Alicia's in a philosophy class. She's in
Yeah.
university now, so she's in a
Yeah.
philosophy class and it's all about critical thinking. And
Ah,
she loves it. She was like, the difference between your belief and truth are two different things. I said,
ah,
yes, girl. Like, go for it,
preach.
girl.
That's the go
She's
only
into it.
gospel I want to hear, you know?
Yes, tell me the truth. Give me some facts, girl. Yes, I love it. Okay. No, I was trying to transition into talking about your story in Jingle These Bells because and obviously this is all kind of in tune with what we've been talking about because your story is so empowering in
Mm,
so many ways. We have it number one top spot. It's the first story in the book. Because I think obviously for one, it sets a tone. It's really fun and it's like really sexy. But there are these like undertones of empowerment and it's like so good. And it just makes my heart so happy every time I've read it, the few times that we've gone through these
a few,
short
just a
stories.
couple casual times.
Yeah. But every single time it gets better and deeper and like there's more layers to your story. So I love it and I'm really excited for people to read it because it really is so empowering. And it touches on everything we've just talked about. So I love it. We've been in the thick of edits for
Yes,
Jingle
we
These
have.
Bells. I want to bring that up because we have to talk shit real fast about Google Docs.
We do. Like, I am almost as angry at Google Docs as I am at religion. Okay,
The
because
devil.
look, okay, it seems very convenient. You know, you load your document up, you can both look at it and edit it at the same time. How convenient. What a modern mythological marvel, dare I say. Okay,
Yes,
but like
magical.
it's been such a fuck around. Because, as Robin called them, Google Docs leaves all these little artifacts, Robin called them, when you
Mm,
edit, which we had no idea about until we became editors of an anthology.
it's true.
And to say I am displeased with the artifacts. And like some of them are invisible, it doesn't seem to affect the text, but some of them leave these huge fucking spaces in the work, or it will move something somewhere, or I don't even know. So it's been, listeners, it's been the bane of our existence. Um,
Yes,
we're never using Google Docs again. We learned our
we've
lesson.
learned. We have. We have indeed. We started off innocently. We really thought this is so much easier, and it was easy for us to edit in Doc. But
Yeah.
then when we tried to transfer or download it to a Word doc, they've got beef, and it shows. It
Yes, and
shows.
it also brought up, and I didn't know that we had this connection. You
Mm.
know, I just discovered today that we also share a passionate loathing of Scrivener.
It's true. I apologize, listeners. I know some of you must be diehard Scrivener fans. I hate Scrivener. I hate
Hate
it.
it. I fucking hate it as well. Can you tell me what specifically makes you loathe it? And then I'll have a
Yeah.
lengthy rant, as we know is bubbling.
Yeah. Brew it up, brew it up. Honestly, for me, it was like there was just no point. Like for me as a writer, I love writing like from beginning to end and I love my little like I can put it, my tabs where I can find it in Word doc.
Mm.
It's very simple. Scrivener, it's got all of these extra boxes and things. I couldn't even figure out where to save the damn thing. It's just too much for me. I'm a simple girl. That's why. I'm a simple girl.
But you know
That's
what?
that's it.
Maybe it's more than simple. Maybe you're intuitive and you just know it was a sack of shit that was going to cause grief. Because I
That's
swear
it. That's true.
some of our authors must use it as well. Because there's other inexplicable errors that come into Word that just don't
Ah,
make sense.
yes.
And so, because Robin was also telling me that Scrivener, she used to use it and she stopped using it because it would be like that as well. It would just do inexplicable errors in the text when you tried to convert it later. So I didn't know this about it either when my hate for it started because I had a friend like give me a free version of it. Like I could sign up to their thing or whatever, and I was just like, "Oh wow, how lovely." But like I and I'll be honest with you, she sat down and she tried. She gave me a lengthy description on how to use it. But I found it to be the most fuckiest of mind fucks. Like, I applaud you if you have learned the mysterious language of Scrivener. And people have told me it's going to change my life, it's going to be so much
Mm,
easier. But like once you learn it. And I'm just like, okay, but learning it feels like, you know, pulling my spleen out and running it over coals. You know?
yes. Your spirit just does not vibe with it. This your spirit is telling you, no, this is wrong.
I'm also
This
ca-
is
I'm also cackling because I've brought up the spleen, and I don't know if you've watched the new Love Is Blind UK.
no, I oh, is there some guy that always talks about like he's
Yeah,
feeling it in his spleen? I've
yeah,
only
yeah.
seen like clips of it. Okay.
His splenic intuition. Oh my God.
Oh,
As if, honestly, I didn't think I was going to watch Love Is Blind again, but I did get a bit sucked into this season. But it also reminded me why I don't want to watch it anymore. Like, the kinds of people who come on there, it's
yeah.
very rare that they're actually there for love. And you really showed this time. And they tried to be, this is like the kind of people we're talking about. There's been a few guys on this show and actually one girl who I felt they tried to be clever about it and they tried to like handle the audience, but it's so clear like that it didn't, I don't know, just the way they just switched their emotions on and off and then tried to
Mm.
gaslight everyone. I was
They
like,
were the scriveners of that
they were
world.
the
They were
scriveners
like
of the world.
scrivener. Yeah,
They
yeah.
were.
Not good.
We
Bad
decry
eggs.
it. But if you enjoy it,
We hate you, scrivener.
yes. But if you
Yeah,
enjoy it,
yeah.
we
No
applaud
judgment.
you. No judgment.
Yes, we think you're great
We
and
think you
super amazing. We love you, but it's you or no, it's us. It's not you.
exactly. I have no
Yeah,
regrets about not learning
yeah,
it. It was very validating when Robin told me it does like what Google Docs does, and I was like, I knew it. I knew it's shit.
yeah.
Because if it's not going to be
Mm-hmm.
translatable to a file that you use, and then you're going to have potential issues when you transfer it back and forth, is it really helpful or is it a headache? You know?
It's true, and I have to say, every like manuscript I've sent or gotten received back, like with my own editor, it's been Word until the very end, and then we use something else that's like
Yeah.
a PDF sort of thing, but it's been Word. So I'm just letting you know, Word dominance over here.
Exactly. And look, like I said, you can find hacks within Word. Like, yes, it is painful scrolling through your whole document sometimes. I find it very helpful to just memorize a particular word. And I'm like, I know in that chapter we talk about cloacas, so just type cloacas into my search bar. And there it
There you
is.
go. See, we learn our own hacks, it works.
See how I brought it
I
back to
love it.
cloacas? I know you missed it.
Always. Oh, yes, always. I think we're gonna have flaming cloacas in
We need at least
at
one
some
cloaca
point.
somewhere.
Yes. If you know what, if we do another anthology, you might have to have some sort of might have to write something with the cloacas. You might have
The cloaca monster.
I think you might
The
have
cloaca
to.
thief. Oh my God, the cloaca thief.
Oh,
But
take
it could
notes.
work because if you have a monster, they could have different orifices that we don't expect. So one of those could be a cloaca.
Yeah, I don't know how sexy that is, but you can figure
It
that
could be my
out.
mission to make it sexy.
It could be, and I believe in you. I do. I believe in you. Okay, I don't want us to forget. You
Oh
mentioned to
my
me
God.
yesterday that you did something embarrassing, I believe.
I feel hot and sweaty just thinking about it right now.
Oh my, okay.
I'm like,
How we feel?
I'm
Can we
like
talk
thinking,
about
yeah,
it?
we can. I am thinking twice about telling it on the podcast. I'm gonna tell it anyway because We all have these human moments, and if nothing else, you should at least get a laugh at me today.
Oh
But I
no.
genuinely feel hot and sweaty remembering it. So, to give you some context, I need to explain to you the position of our bathroom. Okay? Our bathroom faces the landing, which is the public access to our apartment. So people use it. And I have known the whole time we moved here. Now we've got the like frosted glass. It's like old though, it's like wavy frosting. So you couldn't see my facial expression, but you definitely see more than a shadow in there if it's daytime, you know?
So
But
wait, your window faces? Okay, so the
the
window in your
window,
bathroom
sorry, the window
faces the
faces
landing.
the
Okay, okay,
landing.
okay.
Now, it's a small block, so I have grown accustomed. When we first moved here, I used to put up a towel every time because we don't have a curtain. That's the other thing you have to know. We haven't installed one yet. We're probably going to after this. When we first moved in, I was so paranoid. I was like, put up a towel every time I wanted to use the bathroom. But I have gotten lazy. And there's only, like, most of the time, there's a couple old people. I'm like, if they see me on the shitter, my shadow on the shitter, I kind of got used to it. But at the same time, I had a backup plan. If they actually walk past slowly, I just fold over. I'm on the toilet, and now you see me, now you don't. I fold forward. Which is ridiculous in and of itself. So folding has been working for me because you hear someone come up the stairs and I'll keep my ear out and I'll fold so that no one will know my shadow's there. Except now the fact that I have to give you is that we have a Japanese toilet. Okay.
Hmm.
Now, the Japanese toilet does a very good job of washing my booty hole.
Oh my God. Yes,
It's
she's got a
also
fresh, clean booty hole.
fresh and clean. It's also noisy. Okay, so now I've
Okay.
set the scene for you.
Yes, thank you.
And I should have you know that for 3 years I have avoided my worst nightmare happening. Now, not only do our residents use that landing, the mailman uses the landing. Okay, but I'm like, what are the chances the mailman would come at the same time? You know, if I need a longer session, I'll still put the towel up. But yesterday I was lazy, and yesterday I should have put the towel up. It wasn't just a splash and dash, Montoya. It was I should have put the towel up. So I was sitting there merrily blasting my Japanese toilet against my booty hole. I just like tra la la. You can really get into it, you know? And I did not hear until I saw the high vis in the window of the mailman coming to bring me a parcel. The front door is right next to the window of the
Oh my
bathroom.
God.
So he stood at the front door. Now I folded. I went into panic. I folded. I folded hard and he turned his head. He saw me fold. Now I panicked. This is where the really embarrassing part happens. I panicked so hard. Instinctively, I was like, I can't let him know I was shitting. So I was like, how could I make like this is my brain instantly just trying to make I was like, maybe I could make him think I was cleaning. So I dropped to the floor off my toilet, fucking bare-assed, and I started just instinctively I started rummaging under the sink, making noise.
That's good. That's good.
I didn't even know what I was thinking, like maybe and I started banged around there, and then I naked booty crawled to the cupboard on the ground. And I like slid up on the cupboard and I opened the door and I started fussing in there.
Oh my God. That was genius.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for saying it's genius because I was like, maybe he'll think I was just cleaning.
Yeah. Oh, he
Then
absolutely, absolutely. Yes, you were.
I realized what a dickhead I
Yes.
am. He wasn't even there anymore. He'd like embarrassedly left, probably. He's gonna be so careful next time he comes up. So I
He's gonna
don't
make
know.
a lot of noise coming upstairs from now on.
I think so. I don't know. Did I pull it off? Did he think I was maybe cleaning? Or or the alternative is he was like, why did this bitch not flush? I
He's
don't
probably still
know.
thinking about it to this day. He's right now, he's still thinking about it. He's like, okay, when I got up there, what was happening? Oh my God. It's funny what the brain automatically does, though. I personally think you pulled it off. I think because let me
You're
tell
a
you
good friend.
what because what person would be absolutely nuts enough, right, to be sitting on a toilet and then fall down and start scrubbing. So for him, he's thinking, "Oh, okay, she really was cleaning." Because who else? Because who else in this world? Who else in this fucking world would fall off the toilet and start scrubbing?
You're right. There's no way. There's no
Nobody.
way no
There's
one would think that elaborately.
no way. There's no way. You're not. Your brain's not like. You know what?
I'm gonna have a coughing fit. Thank you for reaffirming
Oh,
me though.
you're good. You're good.
Good.
There's no way he would have thought anything else besides, wow, she's
Gotta
really
be
scrubbing those
cleaning.
floors. Yes.
Something looking in the cupboard. I must have imagined the shadow. That sounds like he'll be like, I must have imagined that the shadow was on the toilet in a
Oh,
sitting
what?
position.
Yes. Yes. No, he was like, wow, whoever's behind that falsely frosted glass is really cleaning that bathroom well. Like, she is so serious. She has blown her pants off.
Literally. I had to tell you, now I'm having a coughing fit. I'm just like,
Ugh.
you know, you shared your shitty story with me at your event. I can't remember what happened now, but you're weeing your pants. I shared my fucking booty in the air off the straight off the loo. We're just a podcast that shares everything, you know?
Oh, yeah, we've run through it this episode in
We had a
particular.
lot to get off our chest.
Yeah, we really did. Oh my God,
Oh
the
my God, we better
time.
read the bio. Do you have
Oh, well, what's the
it?
transition? What's the transition?
Just the transition is, oh my God, we better read the bio.
Okay,
Fly.
speaking of someone that is not shitty at all, we have the amazing Hailey Alcaraz on. Hailey writes multicultural coming of age books about girls using their heartbreak to change the world. She began her writing career in the sixth grade as a kid reporter for Time for Kids and remains passionate and about crafting stories about identity, love, and resilience. She is the author of Up in Flames and Rosa by Any Other Name. Hailey lives in Scottsdale with her husband, two daughters, and precious German Shepherd, Lemon. You can find her online at HaileyAlcaraz.com and on social media at Alcaraz Books. At Alcaraz Books.
You did amazing. Well done. I
Thank
tried
you.
to
I
hold
was
my
stressed.
laugh in as long as I could. I'm gone now.
Yeah.
Gonna go have a
Hey,
coughing fit.
yeah, you go cough, you go clean. Well, you don't need to clean. Your bathroom's already clean. Yeah.
I
Uh,
need to put up fucking curtains is what I need to do, ho. Like it's I've learned my lesson. I've learned my lesson. I can't be fucking booty crawling naked across the floor.
and here's Hailey, everybody.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. Good to see you. Glad you could make it into your sacred spot in the library.
Thank you. I am loving all the Halloween decorations you guys have up. Overachiever.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Melanie thought this was a Christmas tree, and I had to let her know. No, no, no. This is
Yeah.
Halloween.
That hasn't Halloween tree hasn't made it to Australia yet, although I'm sure it will because we tend to follow your holiday trends.
Yeah, I don't think it's a trend yet, but it's gonna happen. It's
Well,
happening.
yeah, I think it should, right? It's cute.
Thank you. Yeah, let's make it happen, and then we'll get it over to Australia, and see how it goes from there. For
Yeah.
sure.
Valid. Okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah. I figured, I know it's early, and I had this discussion with my partner today. I said, did I do this too soon? And he said, hey, you got to do what you got to do. And so I'm up. My decor is up. So
Yeah, I mean, you live in Florida, right? Is that where you're
no,
from?
I'm in
You're in
California. So like similar weather. It's hot.
California. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm in Arizona. So I feel like we start decorating early just to manifest cold weather because it's 110 today. Like it does not feel like autumn at all, but I want it to feel like autumn. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. We're not hot, hot like you,
yeah.
like you're hot, hot. We're, decently hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. This was meant to be on so many levels. So I'm so excited to have you on. And I guess we'll just get right into the hard questions.
Okay.
Since we got you here, we've got you in the library. We might as well get
Okay.
to the tough stuff first. What is the strangest thing you own?
I had to like think about this for a while because you're in like your own home and you're like, there's nothing weird here. I'm not weird. And then I was like, well, what other people? And we just bought something that I think is probably the weirdest, and it's like the first thing you see when you walk in our home. My husband is like a very big Tolkien person, and so like I always, I mean, I like books, obviously, and like I am into it, but probably not on the same level that he is, but we've merged. And so we have a very large framed print of a Tolkien quote that's like, bam, you walk in my door and it's like movie poster sized. And it's like artsy, it's from Etsy, and it's like all you have to do is decide what to do with the time given to you, which I like feels like
mm.
very like it was one of our favorite quotes, but I was like, it's in like the Elvish script and stuff. And I was like, yeah, there's no question about like that were weird as soon as you walk in, but it's cute and we like it. And we just got it. And we spent money getting it framed and making it look nice. So it's yeah,
I love this. I love this so much. I love that you just commit to it. You know what I mean? And like, what's the point of having adult money if you can't buy the things that you always wanted? I
yeah,
applaud this. Wait, what's the picture that comes with the quote? Is it a scene from the movie or like an artwork?
like artwork. It's like a foresty looking scene. I think it probably
Mm.
is Tolkien inspired, but I don't know if like the people who read the Silmarillion would like be like, what? That's not those aren't Ents, but it's like artistic. No, yeah,
I love that. Yeah, you might as well, like you said, it's adult money. You spend it on the right things, and you might as well let people know once they get into your house, like this is what you got to expect from us. And I think I'm with it. I think it's great.
yeah.
Have
This
you
is who we
posted
are.
it on your socials? I'd love to see it.
Yes, yeah, I did recently.
Okay.
We also got like this very cute little like vintage buffet that was like we got it at like an estate sale that was like a china cabinet, and then we took it to like this really cute shop in Phoenix that like refurbishes it, so it's like a funky little like accent piece. And so it's our like nerd corner, but it's like welcome to our home. We like old things, we like Tolkien, we like books, we're weird. So
I freaking love that. Is your husband? I'm assuming he's a reader as well. Like, do you guys have similar tastes, or are you guys on the vastly different sides of the spectrum?
vastly different. Tolkien is probably like our biggest overlap, and like I would say like I like Tolkien. He like can tell you Gandalf's family tree. Um, but he's been reading Brian Sanderson. He's like deep into the fantasy lore, and I need romance. And so I'm like, how many people are kissing in this book? And he was like, no one is kissing. I was like, no, not for me. I need people to kiss.
It's long, those books. I attempted it. Like they're beautifully written. But
Yeah.
I was like, there's like you're learning about like the gods and the goddesses before the story even starts or something. And I was like, wait, I don't know where I am. It's
Yeah.
like my brain needs the pacing to be faster. But yeah, the that quite a cult following for those ones. And yeah,
Yeah.
beautifully written, but I couldn't.
Yeah. And we listen to audiobooks too. And so they're like 70 hours long. So it takes you
Yeah.
like 5 months to get through one. And it's wild.
That's so impressive though, especially without the romance because it's the same. Like if I don't even have like a nugget of it, like it doesn't have to be full on. It's just like a
No.
little hint
Yeah.
and then I'm like I'm
Mm.
stuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Yeah.
it's rough. It's rough. Okay. I love that though for you guys. So like long car rides, we're listening to the stuff. We're getting the heavy lore. We're learning all the things.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
That's awesome. I should try that with my partner cuz he can't sit down to read to save his life. And
Mhm.
so maybe if I trap him in a vehicle and like play one of my books, maybe he'll read it and then we could bond over such a thing. I think would be great.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
listen to a lot of audiobooks when I'm at the gym, and he's like a big gym rat, and so like we'll be listening. Like we the one that we tried to listen to at the same time was Fourth Wing, because I was like, you like fantasy, like this could be an overlap, and he was like shocked at like the spice in it, and I was like, I mean, it is spicy, but like there's such a ra wide range. It's like, that's
Yes.
maybe this isn't the co-listening thing we're gonna do, but you know,
I think that's a perfect choice. I think that's
thank
great.
you.
Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, what is something that you think about way too often?
Um, goodness. The Iliad. I love like the Trojan War. And I've read like countless retellings. There's so many good ones. And I went to the woman who translated like a recent famous edition of the Iliad. She did a lecture at ASU recently, and I went like fangirled very hard. So I often think about just like all the characters and like how many perspectives we haven't gotten yet, and like how I'm hopeful and like how I wish I would have gone back and got like my master's in like ancient mythology and things like that. But I just think it's like my favorite story ever. And I just want people to keep doing it. I want a real mini series of like of Troy. And yeah, I think about that often.
Oh my God. I love that. Is there like what's the iconic pool? Like, is it the romance? Is it the like what's your iconic moment that really just gets you every time?
Um, I love that there's no clear good guy. Like the morally gray thing. Like I'm like everyone is kind of like doing messed up things, and I'm like, but they're still very human. And like you're still rooting for different people at different
Mm.
times. I will say like I don't accept that Achilles and Patroclus are just cousins. Like they are lovers, and you will never convince me otherwise. And then I also don't accept that like Achilles ever like that the slave I think her name was Briseis like she fell in love with Achilles. Like Achilles killed her husband. And like I think about this a lot. And like she did not love him. Like she was she was playing the long
Mm.
game to survive. And like I'm very critical of like retellings. They're like, they fell in love. I'm like, no, there was so much more. It's deep. It's deep. It's a war story. But yeah, I just love like, yeah, it's so problematic and like everyone's got their baggage and like doing shady things. And I just think it's really
You like the messiness of it. I
Mm.
kind of okay. So, what did you think of Troy, the movie with Brad Pitt?
I like it. I think it's okay. I think there's so much more that happens in the Iliad that like I want a mini series. Like I think they could easily do it. But I think like Brad Pitt at that time, it was like that's exactly what Achilles looks like in my brain. Um, and I think Eric Bana was like a solid Hector. Hector is like my first book boyfriend, and yeah,
That's valid.
I
That's
think he did a
valid.
good job. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I didn't mind,
Yeah.
watching.
Nah, me neither.
I'm just
I
gonna
feel like it
continue.
might even be time for a rewatch, dare I say. It's been a long minute since I saw it.
Yeah, that's my one impact. If you go over and rewatch Troy after this, then I'm good.
I love
Yeah.
that. Well, over to writing things now. Did you always want to be a writer?
I think so. I feel like I've always been writing. I was like in the high school newspaper club, and my first like official writing gig was for Time for Kids magazine. It's like the
Wow.
kids offshoot of Time. I was like one of their first classes of kid reporters. I remember like writing my little like entry article, and it was about an animal shelter that had just opened in my town, and my mom took me to like go interview them, and I submitted that. So I've always like liked that, and that's all been like my chosen hobby. And then I think I hear a lot of other writers talk about how COVID just kind of clarified things. You were home and you're just kind of like had a lot of time, and so I thought was kind of when I like buckled down was like this is something that I've thought about for a long time. So like, why not try it? And then COVID also coincided with me having my first daughter. And so there was like that adding in the mix of like I wanted something for myself while I was trapped in my house to like make me feel like a whole person. And also just like what did I want to see? What did I want her to see me trying to like achieve? And so
Yeah.
yeah, that was kind of the impetus. But yeah, I feel like it's been something that I've been working toward in one way or another for
Mm.
Oh
most of
my
my life.
gosh.
But yeah.
That's so special, though, honestly. I mean, that you have always had this eye for it. Seems like for journalism in particular, which I think sort of translates really well into the stories you write now, which are beautiful. So I want to know like a little bit more about your journey into publishing. So once COVID hit, we're inside, like tell us a little bit about what you first started writing and then how we got to where we are today, which is an author of 2 books.
Yeah, thank you. That's a good question. Yeah, Up in Flames was the first book that I like wrote and I queried it and it was my first book. So like that's unusual. I don't but the more you talk about it, like the more people are like that's yeah. So like that felt very surprising to me. But I was very happy with it and then like I'm very proud of that book. It's the book I intended to write, and it's finding still, finding its readers and stuff. But it was a story that's been stuck with me for a long time. So yeah, I that's what I queried to find my agent, and then we sold that book at auction to Viking Children's, and then that's the same publisher that published Rosa as well. That Rosa was the second book in that series. Two
Mm.
standalones, obviously, but.
Mm.
Amazing. How was your querying journey? Was it, yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I've actually been reflecting on that a lot because like I said, I'm at the library right now, and that's because I am the writer in residence at one of our local libraries here, and so I'm here for 16 hours a week doing writing, but also like meeting with aspiring authors who just come in with
Yeah.
like various questions. So a lot of them are like prepping to query or like months in and kind of wondering like what's normal. So I've been like pulling up like my old like little spreadsheet and like my query letter. I'm hosting like a query letter speed dating in a couple weeks here where people can like bring it in and get
Oh,
fast
cool.
feedback. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's demoralizing, it's awful. It's like one of my least favorite things. But I queried, I think somewhere in the ballpark of 80 over whatever the
Mm.
several months it was. I kind of blocked it out from stress. And then I participated. Do you remember they used to do like pitch events on Twitter a lot back in Twitter's
Yes.
heyday? Um,
Yes.
so I didn't find my agent from that, but I signed with her right around the same time because I had whatever my pitch was, had gotten a bunch of like agent likes. And so I kind of used that to nudge her. And then that ended up going there. So like that was good timing. I don't know, I miss a lot of old writing Twitter for a variety of reasons, but I do miss those events. They were really cool and like good community building. I feel like I met a lot of my internet book friends on those, but yeah. Yeah, it's hard. I whenever writers come in here talking about querying, I very deeply empathize. It's brutal out there.
Yeah, as you said, it is demoralizing. Like it's such a and there's just no way to predict it. Like there's no way to predict how fast it's going to be, what the response time is going to be like. The only thing you can do is like hold on to your community and just keep writing.
Yeah. Were you guys able I could not write while I was querying. Like I was like tied up in knots over it. Were you guys able to work on anything while you were doing it?
I had to. I felt like for me, if I just focus on queries, I would hyperfixate to like a wild level. So I have to find a different hyperfixation, otherwise that's it.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah. No, I think that's it. Like, I think that is some great advice. It's like when you're in the depths of despair that is querying or beyond submission, like to continue to work is
Mhm.
so great. I don't think I did during when I was querying Sinner's Isle. I think because Melanie and I had just come off of Pitch Wars.
Okay.
And so we had both had just been, editing to the gods. Like we had
Mhm.
Yeah.
all of us were just like in the thick of edits. And so I think when I started querying, I think I was done like with
Okay.
just
Mm.
anything authorly for a while. I'm
Yeah.
trying to it feels like a blur now that I think about it as well. Like maybe I was just maybe I was just dead. I don't
I
remember
think
what
we
I was
did
doing.
draft race. I think we did draft race because I say that I have to be working on another project, but as I say, like the alternative is just I freeze up. So we
Yeah.
did this, I think that's when we did a draft race and we both tried to push through and do like a quick draft of something, or it might have been later.
That's
But
Yeah,
fun.
I think it was later
later,
because when I draft race was for A Cruel Thirst, I think, which I
oh,
already had sold. See, it's all a blur. We've just been so busy doing so many
You're so
things.
fabulous. You can't possibly keep up with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. It feels like so long ago too. So
Yes.
yeah,
Mm.
but I think it is a great idea to write, to do
Yes.
something, especially creative, and to let your brain sort of explore. Is there any advice that you give to authors that you meet or budding writers?
I do say if you can write, do it, but like I don't know, when you can't write, like don't
Mm.
I don't think you should force it because then you'd end up with like this negative like buildup of like this is a chore that I have to do and like I don't want to do it. So I actually like that was when I started like my bookstagram and like I really just like did that and like that was my creative outlet. Like I did like little, my recap posts and things like that. And then I that's how I met like other writers. And so like that community and like support network was really helpful. So yeah, I think I also read like 150 books that year. So it was just like I must read. Like I need to occupy
Mm.
my brain from like the black void. So like yeah, I think finding something and not hyper fixating on queries. But it doesn't have to be writing, there's a
Mm.
lot of ways that you can develop your craft and like build your network that aren't
Yeah.
necessarily like your words on a page, but you do have to do that eventually. But
That's great advice, actually, because yeah, there was definitely periods during that where I was like, writing is the last thing you want to be doing because you
yeah,
just did that thing. And I think you're right. It can be tempting to be like, I've got to produce the next thing and I've got to
yeah,
get something else ready. But yeah, sometimes there's these very syrupy days where you're just like,
yeah.
writing is just staring at the screen, having 20 existential crises one after the other. Oh my God, I just made balloons appear. Listen, I have updated my laptop and there are the other before I did this and a thumbs up sign came. I don't know, there's all kind I
I
didn't
love
know balloons was a thing. I don't even know what I did to make them.
I loved it. I thought it was like maybe Angela doing it for like your words of wisdom. I was like, ooh, that's
Yeah, just yeah, I should have a remote, like a button where it's just like pew pew pew. See, she's
yeah.
got the hearts
The
now.
hearts, the thumb happened the other day. Or early. Oh, there it
Oh,
is.
there it is.
Oh, I don't
But
have
I
the
She
update.
just
likes her
find
own thing.
I find them at random. I don't know it's gonna happen. I just talk with my hands a lot and the computer responds.
Yeah,
I love that. I
yeah,
think,
that was exciting.
yeah, I know. Yeah, that really, really stole the show right there.
Yeah,
I mean, anytime you see balloons just pop out of nowhere, you
yeah,
got to stop and talk about them.
yeah,
Like you
exactly.
can't, we couldn't just disregard the balloons.
No,
No.
never.
Oh my God, I love that. Okay, well, back to publishing.
Less exciting things than
Because it
balloons.
sounds, yeah, yeah. Well, it sounds like you pretty much like had a whirlwind event because it went from querying and then you sold the book and then we're on to the second book. Is there anything about the publishing industry that has surprised you?
Yes, so many. I do feel like my querying and my sub actually went like relatively quickly, like over the course of a month compared to how long it can take and has taken since then. Um, and so I think I was unprepared for how slow the rest of it could be. It's, they always say like publishing is hurry up and wait. And so like these exciting things happened, and then, I sold my those books neither the end of 2021 or beginning of
Mm.
2022. And Up in Flames didn't come out till October 2023, and then Rose just came out. And that's so like, it's just there's so many pieces and like it just takes a long time. And like see other authors talking about like how weird it is to be talking about one project when you're like working on two projects in the future. And like that has been just very jarring. Like I'm working on a work in progress that like it's not sold. It may not see shelves, I mean, ever, but hopefully not in like till 2027 or 2028, maybe once it's all said and done. And like I'm in it. Like that's what I want to talk about. But I'm like, it's not, I can't. And I'm still talking about Rosa, which I wrote 2 to 3 years ago. So it's the nature of time and waiting and patience like will never not shock me. Like it's hard to wrap your mind around until you're in it.
Mm. That's so true. How do you find that you manage all the waiting periods?
I complain a lot.
That's valid.
There's like that one meme that says like you handled it so well, and it's like I did not handle it well. I sent like a 40-hour voice note to my best friend. That is like I'm the living embodiment of that. My husband knows way more about publishing than he's probably ever wanted to. But yeah, now I think I'm in a better headspace than I was querying, so I am able to work on other things. But I just still go through spells where I'm just like, will I ever publish again? Will anybody ever want to talk to me ever again? And like I take intentional breaks then because you're right, like called it syrupy, and I love that. Like things get syrupy and I'm stuck and not
Mm.
doing great. But yeah, I try and write. I read a lot. And then I take intentional breaks of like, okay, like you're in a bad spot publishing wise, like your brain is saying mean things, so like you need to do other things for a hot minute. Um,
Mm.
oh
That's
That's so
yeah.
smart.
self-awareness, though. That's everything. Like, I feel like if you can like give yourself space from your identity being like tied into this and being able to do that and just take a
Yeah.
step back and be like, wait, I'm feeling like this and I need to remove myself. Like that is like in the end, that's kind of like the ultimate coping thing to
Yeah.
like continue.
And it's not easy. Like I'm not good at it all the time, but yeah. It's hard because like I'm sure you guys feel the same way. Like I genuinely love writing, but like you
Mm.
do need to take a break because it's still hard even when I love it. So like it's I don't know.
Yes.
It does you have to really I feel like I have to really be in the thick of the big feelings before I'm like, whoa, you need to step back.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. Well, the thing is too is writing is really hard.
Mhm.
Like you are basically throwing a bunch of problems at a page and then you have to solve them as you're going and it's this creative thing you're doing and it's like your brain is on fire half the time because you really love it and you want to be in it, but it really is so challenging. And then on top of it being published and feeling the need to boost your books or doing other things,
Mhm.
interviews, all of it. So it's like this huge mix of like ups and downs and it's like so intense. So taking a break I think is like the only way to survive. I think I've yet to take a proper break, but like even when I take just a few days or just stop thinking about my book and I just watch a show, it
Yeah.
always like okay, I'm back. Like I feel like back in my body again and then you always feel so inspired like, "Oh, I want to write again." So it's like taking that break is so helpful.
Yeah, letting yourself miss writing is like another thing. I'm like there's that advice about writing every single day, and like that just does not work for me at this stage of my life. But like I need to miss it. Like if I step away for a week, I'm like, okay, I'm ready. Like I feel the urge again. I don't feel like it's something I have to do.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I need to miss it. I think that's perfect. That's
Mm.
exactly what it is. It's like where you get that feeling again, like, oh, those like butterflies in your tummy, like, I can't wait to write.
Yeah, yeah,
And sometimes
Mm.
you're like, oh God. So yeah, taking that break is really so, so helpful.
yeah.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder or whatever it's called. I
Yeah.
love that. Okay, well, I want to talk about your beautiful book. First of all, the cover. Both your covers are fantastic. This one is so beautiful. Can you tell us a little bit about Rosa by any other name?
Yeah, I would love to. It is The Hate You Give meets West Side Story. So it is set in 1955 Phoenix, and it's loosely Romeo and Juliet inspired. I almost pitch it as like a sequel to Romeo and Juliet because the events in my novel focus on what happens after my Romeo and Juliet die, and just kind of how the community responds and kind of the social awakening that happens as they grapple with this like very tragic situation. And it deals with like kind of the rise of the Chicano civil rights movement. It's in like the couple years before that was like officially catalyzed. Just looking at like how the civil rights era affected Mexican communities in Arizona, and in the year after Brown versus Board of Education passed specifically. So it deals with a white passing Mexican American girl named Rosa, who is going to the white school when all this kind of tragedy and protest and kind of civil unrest unfolds.
Wow.
Amazing. And it's one of those things where you think that we're like kind of past these times, but really and truly we're really in the thick of it at this very moment. And so to have a book like this coming out for people to reach to and learn from and feel in their hearts, I think is like is beautiful and necessary. And why we write. And I think it's amazing. What kind of research did you do to for this book in particular?
So much. That was like honestly like my favorite part about writing this book, but it was also the most daunting. I had not written a historical fiction before, so like just the unraveling of like how do you build the world of 1955 without info dumping
Mm.
was incredibly challenging. I got very involved with like my local museums. I'm actually still very involved with them because I use so many resources. So I'm on like an education board for them because I'm like, I want to go to museums for free and like, will you also answer all of my very niche questions? So that's been really great. I read a lot of newspapers and yearbooks from the time period. I actually even stumbled upon people who had grown up like in Rosa's neighborhood. It no longer exists, so like it's very rare. And so there was a couple like I was at like an alumni mixer for Teach for America, and I found somebody who like ran a community organization in South Phoenix who said she's like I lived in Golden Gate, and I was like, do you remember the Sacred Heart Church? Like this is my book. Like tell me all your memories. And so I've done that more times than I would care to admit. And then yeah, like I read a lot of teen magazines like 17 and American Girl, I think are the magazines. You can buy them like digital copies for online, and like you learn so much about like what it was like to be a teenager from like what they were telling teen girls. Yeah, like they were selling girls like china sets for their wedding trousseaux, like for 16-year-old girls
Mm.
in the 50s,
Mm.
which is just wild. And yeah, we watched a lot of movies set in the 50s. I listened to the music, which was great. 1950s has great music both in the US and Mexico. And then I just read a lot of historical fiction. That's actually how I've connected with a lot of other authors because I'm like I even if it wasn't set in the 50s, like just kind of study like how they did it was really, really informative and educational and inspiring.
Wow. That all sounds so amazing. And I love that like you've zoned in on like those little details because yeah, it is fascinating those little markers of history that really tell you something. You know, because you can read information, but you're right, that tells you so much more that they were
Yeah.
selling China sets. Oh, I whatever. In the mag were they selling them
Yeah.
or they were like promoting them? I can't remember.
Yeah, it was ads, but yeah, that just like
Ads.
that's not in our teen
Mm.
magazines right now. It's just
No.
fascinating.
Could you imagine? Could
Yeah.
you imagine right now, like, hey, little girls, like when you get married, here's your stuff to
Yeah.
buy. Like that is wild. Oh my gosh. And
Mm.
so smart on your part to look into those and use those like for research. I think that's so clever. I would have
Yeah.
never even thought to like look at actual magazines for that time of what young women were really reading. That is so cool.
Yeah, it will
Yeah.
make it feel so real, the world, because it's like those are the little random things that you won't anticipate unless
Yeah.
you lived through it or you read the magazine in 2025.
Yeah. Well, it's like also again going back to that hyperfixation thing is like I went down rabbit holes. So like it didn't even touch the manuscript, but like now I know it and I was there and like reading it. And so it is
Yeah.
it is a fine balance. But yes, I learned a lot and I do think it benefited the story. But yeah, I spent days of my life reading about things
I
no
feel
person in
like all
25
of
needs to
it,
know.
I reckon all of it touches the manuscript in the end though, because your brain processes all of it, and even what it spits out is the vibe, but the whole vibe is influenced by everything you channeled in. So I think it's like definitely all, none of those rabbit holes will be wasted.
Thank you.
That's good.
That makes me
That
feel
was
better
good.
now.
No, I
That
never
was
think
really
those
good.
rabbit holes are wasted because even if it doesn't make it onto the page, it does. It changes your energy of how you write it, is what I've
Yeah.
realized with that stuff. Because I used to
Mm.
feel guilty as well. I'd be like, I just spent a day researching a murder that's not going to happen in this book. But it does, somehow it finds its way into changing
Yeah.
the energy.
Yeah.
Yes. And if not this book, into another one
Yeah.
too. Like no research doesn't disappear. Like it somehow ends up somewhere.
Mm.
Which I think is always really fun. You know what I mean? Like 3 books down the line, you're like, I now know about China sets that would be on sale in
True.
the 1950s.
Yeah, true.
Is there anything from this book that you wish readers, something that they would take away from this story?
Um, the main message of this is like the labor of hope. Like that is the hope is not just like an ideal one, like something that just like happens upon you. You often have to like work at it, and it takes a lot of resilience and sometimes steps backward before you can go forward again. And so hope alone isn't often enough, that it takes collaboration and kind of growth on your part. Um, so yeah, I think that's what I hope you young readers get from it. And I think it's needed now because like there's so much, barraging us at all times of just like terrible circumstances. And it's hard to feel hopeful.
Mm.
So to know that like, you may not feel 100% hopeful every single day, but like if you take the time to reflect and talk to people and do your research and learn from history and listen to people whose experiences are different from yours, that like you'll find your way. You have to be intentional. You have to fight for it some days.
Mm. I love this answer so much, and I think about this a lot, like how words like bravery, hope, like it's almost a throwaway thing, but like actually living it generally looks like a lot of work, a lot of fear. Most people doing brave things are shitting themselves.
Yeah.
And now you've just added hope into my mental catalog of those things because yeah, like it's not something you think about when you're younger, you know? It's just like, yeah, hope. I'll give them hope. But you're right. You have to like fucking fight for hope and joy and like happiness a lot of the time. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
just like always happen. And anyway, sorry, I love that. I could go on a very long hyperfixation tangent on this, but I
Yes.
won't because I want to know what's been the hardest part of your journey so far.
Um, the waiting definitely challenges me, like we talked about. Something that like I'm actively dealing with is the comparison game of just
Mm.
like
Mm.
everyone's journey is different. And I know that at like a very big picture level, but sometimes it's especially with like the world of social media and just like seeing everyone's books do different things than yours and just wondering like, well, why did theirs get 17 translations or a special edition cover or, there's and publishing is so secretive sometimes too, so you'll never know. Um, like that I have to like remind myself I'm like I have done something that I've wanted to do my entire life and like I'm very proud of the books I've written. I aspire to more books and I have goals that I'm still striving toward. But yeah, sometimes it's hard when you see what everyone else is doing to not be like, what about me? So that's like something I struggle with. And I was talking about with my husband about it like the week before Rosa came out. And we were like out to dinner and we saw like we were walked by a movie theater and they had a poster for a book that had just been recently adapted. That was like a very old book. I read it like 15 years ago and I had never heard anyone else talk about it. And I was like, oh, they made a movie? And he was like, see, like once you create something, you never know when it's going to take off. Like, we've get in this like instant gratification zone of like my book has a month to do to like make its impact and then it disappears. But like it doesn't disappear. Like we still have I have to be patient and like not compare yourself to everyone else's journey. Like there's still a lot ahead. And that's like a pep talk I give myself in the bathroom mirror every day. So
I love it.
Yeah.
It's absolutely valid. And
Yeah.
yeah, bless your husband for his wise words as well. Sometimes it just
you're
helps if
welcome.
someone else says it as well, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, especially someone that's not in the publishing industry, who are seeing things on the a different side of different point of view, I think is
Mm,
always like very valuable. You know what I mean? Because they're not in that headspace that we all get into when it comes to publishing, which is
Mhm.
like everything is huge and dire and
Yeah.
awful and so big, right? Like it feels
The
very
discourse,
angsty.
yeah,
Yeah, like we're like teenagers where everything's just so big. And so it's nice to have someone with a different perspective like you'll get there.
yeah,
You're like, "You know
yeah.
what? Damn it, you're right."
You're so wise. Yeah,
Thank you. Yeah. We love our significant others who have that like other point of view that we can lean on for
yeah, or
goodness
just
sake.
anyone too. Like just instead of
Yeah.
to vent to like a neutral party about like these are the crazy things that I'm thinking about, and they're like just patient, Things
Yeah. Or
happen.
sometimes they're like, "Oh my god, that is crazy."
It
Like
is.
that is
mhm.
the publishing industry is wild and you're like, "I know, right?"
That's super validating. Like if I vent to my husband about something completely obscure and he's like, "Oh my God." And I'm like, "Yes, you see, publishing is wild."
Uh,
Cry with me right now. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're cutting our time, but I want to know like what has been the most rewarding part of your publishing journey so far?
the rewarding. I love doing like, especially getting to write young adult. I love doing like school visits and things like that. I used to be a middle school teacher for 8 years. And
Well,
so to get like my fix with young readers is like really great. I try and do a few a semester. And I've done some really cool ones. I often teach a workshop on retellings, and so I help them write retellings. And then when I did the Tucson Festival of Books like 2 years ago, they set me up with a bunch of school visits, and I went to like a juvenile detention center, and they're like avid readers there because they have like limited like technology, and so like they were like the best read teenagers I've ever met in my entire life. So we talked books and like they shaped like their own stories, which was wonderful. And then I work with a lot of like teens and young readers here at the library and just like yeah, it's always very encouraging to me to see what like the next generation is working on and to get to be part of that. And like seeing someone else do it like makes it seem like less daunting. Like a lot of times people think like writers or like that they don't know any. I guarantee you've met right? It's like they are everywhere. We are not that fancy at all. So like, but like once they know and you're like, oh, you did it, and you're like a real person. You're not just like someone behind the cover of a book. I think that like is powerful for people, and so I'm hoping that kids be
Mm.
like, you're not that special, and you did it, so like maybe I can do it. So like getting to yeah, just the young readers and writers, I think is great, and that's
Oh
hands
my
down
gosh.
like why I write. So
You honestly are that special though, because that is so amazing. Like getting to go into schools and having the guts to do it because teenagers are so scary.
they are scary.
You know, like they are going to tell you exactly how they feel. And I freaking like, I think you're amazing. I think this is so awesome. Like you're so inspiring. So I'm bowing down to you because I think it's so special what you're doing and to be able to get to impact young writers, young readers' lives is so special. So thank you for doing that, honestly. Like you are fucking badass.
Thank you.
Mm.
Yes. Okay. Well, we're down to the final little bit here.
Okay.
So we're going to ask our favorite question, which is looking back on all you've accomplished, what advice would you give a younger version of yourself before you started this journey?
I think I've touched on it in a couple of the other questions, but yeah, just I have a tendency to want to control every part of things. Like I wouldn't say I'm a control freak, but like I like to know my options and I like to know what's like to know that I have some like agency in it. And like you don't have agency in a lot of what publishing is. Like a lot of it is just like you write the book and then like who knows what will happen. Like it's like that's been very challenging for me. So just to like you'll get there. It may not look like how you're gonna expect it to look like. It may not look like other people's, but like you'll get there and just like keep writing the books that you believe in, that you want to write. Yeah, we'll get there eventually.
Yes. I mean, sometimes that's all we need to hear. Well, I see, like, we're down to a minute. It's going to cut us off any second, but thank you
Oh,
so much for joining us and for all your beautiful, wise words. Yeah, it
thank
was
you.
just glorious to hear.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, honestly, the pleasure is absolutely ours. So again, our listeners are going to love this. And again, thank you
Mm.
for joining us because you really are so special, and the world needs all of your books. So
Well,
publishers, listen up.
thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna send this straight to them right now. So